What's up to the real ones, man? Thank you so much for joining me early to check out the pre-show. And thank you so much for even being awake just to watch this game, man. So, because I know for some of you guys, if it's 4 p.m. in LA, for some of you guys, it must be the middle of the night, man. And I know how it feels. I know how it feels because most of the time I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to do these watch-alongs. Not today. Today, it's at 4 p.m., so I get to enjoy my day. But guys, I want to give some time to the guys who are going to roll in late. You guys are the ones I appreciate the most, the ones that are here on time. You guys are the real ones, man. But I do want to give some time for the guys who are going to join in a little bit late. I don't want them to miss out on the video that I made for this event or for this watch along. So I also prepared like a 4-minute video of some of these clips from my past videos dating all the way back to last summer and January, things like that. So enjoy that for the next 4 minutes. And then we're going to roll with a brand new video that's not going to be too long. And then I'm going to join you guys live. I'll see you on the other side.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all.
I think we lose the ball too often.
The problem is with the ball.
It reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Dear Jim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my ex, and my email at the bottom. I sent 2 emails back in autumn. They must have been forgotten. Maybe you were too busy counting all those layoffs or something. It's just frustrating, Jim. This squad is so outdated. Our wingers cross to no one, and all our players are overrated. If I could make a wish, I'd sell them all, no hesitation. Start fresh with players who understand the basics of chance creation. Amarim's got the tactics, but this squad just won't comply. We need January reinforcements, or kiss Europe goodbye. Anyways, I hope you read this and give me a reply soon, because if we keep this up, we'll be relegated by next June. My team's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. What's up, YouTube? Ruben Amarim's teams score in 3 different ways. One is crosses. Crosses. Ruben Amarim's teams were sporting team was averaging 20 crosses per game, so get used to seeing a lot of crosses. The problem is, though, our crossers suck at delivering crosses. Lenny. Hold on, Lenny. I want you to check this out. Hold on, I gotta get the phone situated. All right, there we go. Check it out. Check out these pecs and quads, Lenny. You know how I get pecs and quads like this? Hard work.
And that's the secret, man. Work hard. Work on all your parts of your game. Good luck, man. Let's go. Lenny.
Why can't you put on a shirt, Rio? Another way they score a lot of goals is quick interchange of passes to the inside 10s and the striker. Basically just being able to like telepathically know where each other's going to go, using 1-2s, give and goes. And you can see right here, they just are magnificent at that, and they create these deadly chances, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's probably my favorite way of watching a team score a goal, but unfortunately, we're not good at it. Every time we try a give and go or a 1-2, it's like the runner doesn't go or the pass is really bad, and that's what you saw in this last game. But it's good to see that we are trying to do things like that, and maybe we are going to get better at it. We create these diamonds on the ball side of the pitch. Like here, our wing back checks back to receive the ball from the center back, and now we have that diamond with these 4 players. The next move is going to be for the diagonal run, which Ruben loves, from the inside 10 to zone 18. Just think inside out if you haven't seen my previous videos, the one with the thumbnail that I showed you before. While that's happening, Ugarte is going to fill to the space that Garna's vacating, and Casemiro is going to fill in for Ugarte. Once that is done, you now form a new diamond with Casemiro that should move the opposition players around, opening up a lot of space in front of the striker, who would have to receive and hold up the ball in that space and distribute it wisely once his teammates get forward. So then why did Wilcox and Barada choose Ruben Amarim? His style or tactic to deal with pressure and the press in particular is very interesting, guys. A mixture of penetrating passes into players who are playing in the pocket to either hold it up there or have a one-touch pass to one of the wing backs who are flying up the sides, or Sporting used to play 1-2 passes out wide to get up the field using zigzagging diagonal runs, or long balls hit into wide open spaces in the corners of the field where a speedy forward can easily win a foot race against bigger, slower defenders. He uses them so effectively in the team shape that he uses. That's why I think they chose him. That his tactics, his style, and his team shape just needs some competent players to basically have a very, very high chance of breaking a press and getting us in the opponent's side of the field and setting us up, setting some diamonds and triangles, and getting us to score a goal. All right, let's do it. Let's get this started.
It's really important to sign new players soon as possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but I'm really pleased because they proved already in Premier League. I think that is really important in the moment. Mateus, for example, can play in different positions, so you have more mobility to change the starting 11. So I'm really pleased.
What's up, YouTube? Thank you for joining me once again. Thank you for clicking on the thumbnail and being here for the watch along. This is a little video that I made just before the watch along because it's some things that have been on my mind after I watched the press conference. That was Ruben Amorim saying that he is pleased that we got Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo in before the tour. Two very important players for us. This is going to be a pretty different season. I know that we all want more incomings. I am one of you. I want a hell of a lot more incomings, but I have a feeling from watching this press conference that we have a plan A and a plan B. We do have a plan A to bring in more incomings if we get the people out the door that we need to get out the door. But it seems like we're not going to settle for just any price, that Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox have numbers in their mind for how much these players are worth. And as long as other teams come in with bids to hit those numbers and those players are willing to leave for those numbers, then we will get more incomings. But if not, that this manager is ready to cope with the squad the way he has it right now with Cunha and Mbeumo. I think we'll probably get a goalkeeper too. I'm not sure. But with Cunha and Mbeumo, bare minimum transfers, work with the team, only one game a week, as he kept saying, more competition for spots, and players are just going to have to work harder than they ever have.
Our club in the moment, we need to be really careful when we sign a player. So if we have to start the season with this squad, I'm happy because all the players that are here want to be here, and that for me it's the most important thing.
Right there, he let you know that every signing we make cannot fail. We don't have the money to waste. That is actually not a bad thing. Look, I'd much rather we had billionaire owners, which we do have, but I mean billionaire owners who are ready to just dump money and dump money. I mean, I just read that Chelsea have already issued another £388 million in stocks and sold it off to Todd Boehly and Clearlake so that they got more money in, and now they have more cash to spend after they've already made I don't know how many signings this summer. Guys, we just don't have those owners. We have a team that is one of the biggest global brands in the world. And yes, it is. If you haven't seen my past video, just go back like 3 or 4 videos where I had Jason Wilcox on the thumbnail. I'll put the thumbnail up right there. Go watch that video and I'll show you all the data about how we are one of the biggest brands in the world in that video. But still, because of how big our brand is, we generate a ton of monies. And these owners are at least willing to not take out money for a couple of years and put that money back to work and invest in the team. Fine. I wish we had owners that are going to dump their own money in and understand that in the long run, that investment will be returned to them if they do the right things. But we don't have that. So we have to buy smart. Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, I am going to certify that as an A+ stamp from me. Those are really, really smart purchases that have to work out, and they're going to work out. These guys have already been tested against the same rivals. As Ruben said at some point in that press conference, these guys have played against the same ones that they're going to play against in a Manchester United kit. They're going to play against the same Saliba. They're going to play against the same Van Dijk. We already know what they can do against the defenses we're going to come up against, and there's no worry that they're going to be able to perform. which is what I love about those two transfers. But when it comes to other positions, nothing's really clear cut. As you guys know, we need a striker. But none of this strikers just jumps right out at us unless it's Alexander Isak, and God knows we're not going to be willing to pay over $100 million. And who knows if he's even willing to come to our squad. So let's just get that out of the way because, look, as soon as the Alexander Isak news broke that he wants to move, I posted on X right away. And if you don't follow me on X, check out my link down there. At Man United FC Man. Follow me on X. I need you guys to follow me on X because I make these videos and sometimes I use game footage, and who knows, YouTube might ban my channel and I might have to restart a new channel. If you don't follow me on X, how are you going to know what channel I'm on now if they ban me? I try my best to obey the copyright rules, but they don't want me to use any video whatsoever. And it just makes it really hard for me to explain what I'm trying to explain if I don't use at least 3 seconds of video at a time. But anyways, follow me on X. On X, I let everybody know that I want Alexander Isak. Let's go for it. Let's use the credit card. Let's go get Alexander Isak. But that was as soon as the news broke. Now it's been a couple of days. My mind's a little more clear, and I know we're not going to go after Alexander Isak. We just don't have that kind of funds, guys. We are where we are, right? Unless Anthony and Garnacho sell for $50 million each right now, we don't have that kind of money. And even if they sold for $50 million each, we could probably get three players in instead of one Alexander Isak for that money. Would I want him? Of course I want him, but let's move on. Let's not even talk about Alexander Isak, guys. Let's not waste our breath, our time, and have our stress levels go up. All these squads like Chelsea bringing in 2 strikers that are better than what they previously had. I mean, Liverpool's bringing in Hugo Ekitike, and they're going to try for Alexander Isak. Chelsea brings in that young guy, Delap, and they got Joao Pedro, who I kind of wish we went for. And who's out there? You got Ollie Watkins, you got Jackson. Honestly, I don't really want either one of them, but if I had to choose, I would take Ollie Watkins. He would do really good. I just don't want him because he's old. I think we only got 2 more good seasons out of Ollie Watkins and then we're like, okay, we need a replacement for him. And I just don't want to buy like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to spend that kind of money on something like that. If we can do what Liverpool did last season, which is not spend much, and then the following season dump a ton of money in the summer. If that's what if we can pull something like that off, I'm okay with that too. Oh, somebody's going to hate me right now because somebody's going to say, what are you talking about? We need to buy. When I was watching this press conference and when I heard this part here.
And I know for a fact that Omar and Jason and the club have a number for these players. If they don't reach that players, they will be Manchester United players. No doubts about that. I understand that the clubs maybe are waiting for the last minute, but they can have a surprises. And I'm ready. I'm ready to receive the players. They have more competition. More competition. If you want to play in the World Cup this year, they need to play. So I'm really happy with that because I have more options, and if they have to fight each other to play, for me it's perfect.
All I kept thinking about is all these guys must be on the same page. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, and our manager, Ruben Amorim. They must all be on the same page that, like, yes, we want to sell these guys. We want to get top dollar what they're worth for these guys, though. We're not going to settle for loans or anything else. Maybe Sancho they would because he's in his last year. Just get him out. Just like Rashford, whose wages are way too astronomical, and it's really hard to find him a buyer unless he's willing to go to Saudi. So just get him out and get him on a loan. But these other guys like Anthony and Garnacho, they have actual value. These guys are decent performers. They're not bad footballers. And as long as we are going to stand firm and say we're not selling them unless we get what we want for them, Ruben Amorim's okay to welcome him back to the squad. That doesn't mean they're going to get much playing time, but guess what? Like, I think if we welcome them back to the squad, Anthony, out of both, I don't know about Garnacho's attitude, but Anthony would probably work his tail off during practices and try to get in the squad. Point is this: I feel like they're all aligned. Amorim, Barada, Wilcox, Sir Jim, that if it doesn't happen this summer, that we're just going to go into the summer with Cunha and Mbeumo and probably a goalkeeper, like I said earlier. But that's it. And then he'll have to make it work, and he'll have to try and grind and see if he can get to 8th, 7th place, get into Conference League or the Europa League, and that'll be it for this season. And then next summer with European football, even though it would only be Conference League or Europa League, they go again and they invest even heavier in the next summer, I don't even know if they're actually going to be shooting for Champions League spot this season, unless they win the FA Cup. I don't know, guys. You tell me in the comments, or you tell me when I go live in a couple of minutes, if you think that, if you think they're even shooting for a Champions League spot. Guys, I don't know. And I'm starting to be like, okay, maybe that's the play. And if that's the play, then fine. At least we know that's the play. Now, don't get me wrong. We're hearing that Anthony is willing to go to Saudi. If we can get him off to Saudi and get 50 million, 40 million for him, believe me, it'll be over 35. It'll be 35 to 50 million if he's going to Saudi, if he's actually willing to go to Saudi, because that's what he's worth. They got a number on it. The number is not 25, right? If Wilcox and Barada are saying we have a number that the bid has to be at that number, it's going to be over 35. We're going to get that for him if he's willing to go to Saudi. Now, Garnacho, I don't know what the number is. It probably is 50 or 60. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that kind of interest going and get that kind of money, because for that to happen, Garnacho is going to have to be willing to listen to offers from everybody, not just Premier League clubs. And Garnacho might end up having to stay because he's playing the long game. He's playing like, well, I'm just going to sit back and relax and see how this unfolds and see if my price drops. I love what Ruben said there. We're like, if you want to play in the World Cup, then you're going to have to like either be open-minded and leave or stay with us and fight for your place. And there's no guarantee you have a place because we have Cunha and Mbumo now. You're going to have to work twice, if not 3 times as hard to try and get a place on the field. And you know how pissed Garnacho was for playing only 20 minutes. Imagine if he's only playing 20 minutes every 3 games. He might have to just decide to go and listen to offers from everybody unless he doesn't want to play in the World Cup. And that would be a damn shame for someone his age and his talent level. Guys, I'm going to be live very, very soon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching the pre-show. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in 10 seconds.